joins me. Who's it going to be?
Well, I'd say myself, if Armagh can believe in themselves and maintain the pressure that they put on in the earlier game the last day, I think they can win it. But this Sligo team has been a very resilient team, a very courageous team. And again, if their fitness levels and their courage can maintain itself, it can go their way. It's anybody's game, really. Early scores and goals are going to be important.
With the first kick for goalkeeper James Curran. Now one of 6 Coolera Strandhill players on this panel. Dermot Marsden. Marking him is Nigel Clancy. Marsden, well off target, still hasn't gone out over the end line. It has now. One goal and 5 points in 5 games, including that spectacular goal against Sligo 3.5 minutes into the second half in the drawn match. This young goalkeeper was very impressive, particularly in the opening round in Gaelic Park, New York, for Sligo. Unchallenged, Paul McGrain. Ronan Clark. Armagh starting as they did in Croke Park 2 weeks ago. Clark, is it going to sneak in? The umpire says no.
It's worrying from a Sligo point of view. The first 3 balls that got into the middle of the field have been fielded uncontested by both Paul McGrain and John Toll. Armagh are opening very positively.
This is Ronan Clark, who seems to be operating further outfield. I'll give you an insight into all of that in just a moment. Ronan Clark is playing at corner forward. He's now gone to half. It's very hard to imagine because they're all switching wings. We'll give a different perspective, or more accurate perspective, as the game progresses. Centre back is Kieran Keeney. Getting there first is Neil Carew. John McPartland. Sligo in their first attack. Here's Paul Durkin. McPartland again, sending it in towards centre half forward Sean Davey, who's operating at full forward. Here's a chance for Davey, and it's Sligo that score first in the replay. Scored a point against New York, hasn't scored since. Found it hard to regain his form and indeed his place, but he's started dramatically here in Navan.
Yes, and he seems to be playing out of full forward position at the moment. There's switches everywhere, Marty. It seems that Darren McGarty is playing out at left half forward. And on the other side of the field, my God, it's just impossible to kind of ascertain what's happening there. There's so many switches in the Armagh attack.
Well, I can tell you that Stephen McDonald is now at full forward, and Barry O'Hagan. They're playing a 2-man full forward line. But so far, Armagh are dominating the centre field area. Aidan O'Rourke sending it up for Barry O'Hagan. An attempted flick back for Stephen McDonald, cutting through the centre. But he takes a go himself and he sends it wide. He had options. By no means a selfish player, but he'll be disappointed with his choice.
Yes, Neil Carew seems to be marking Stephen McDonald. Neil Carew seems to be moving into full back. Ronan Clark is at wing forward, being marked by Patrick Doohan. And centre half back, Nigel Clancy seems to have gone back into the full back line as well.
No doubt life on the pitch will settle down. That's the first time that Sligo have won possession at centre field. It's Eamon O'Hara. In towards Jerry McGowan. Was Enda McNulty fouling? Referee Seamus McCormack feels he was. So there's an opportunity for Sligo here to go further in front. Manager Peter Forge looking at this match from a position in the stand where he prefers to have contact with Jarlath Cunningham, who is his physical trainer and team psychologist. Jerry McGowan hits it with power, matched by accuracy. Sligo lead by 2 points in Navan. Bit disappointed with his form in the drawn match. They're expecting a lot more for him today, and he certainly started with a nice point from that free. Confirmation of the scoreline after just 5 minutes of play. Dermot Marsden being marked by Brendan Phillips. Stephen McDonald, he's the corner forward. Coming up from left half back is Andrew McCann. And James Curran kept his eye on it at the time. This is Darragh McGarty. He's wearing 14, but he's actually playing at left half forward. Great shot of Darragh McGarty passing by our camera. This is Eamon O'Hara coming through from left half back is Pádraig Doohan. This is lovely play by Sligo. Right corner back is Patrick Naughton. Needs to distribute it quickly. Doohan is there again. So too is Sean Davey. Left half forward is John McPartlin. Can they finish with a score? The nightmare of the replay against Dublin last year, or rather the quarter-final against Dublin, is being washed away here because Sligo have started absolutely brilliantly.
Such an assured start, Marty, and that ball there from McPartlin beautifully struck over the bar, but it was the quality of the move up along the sideline in front of us here. O'Hara passed the ball inside, and the interchange between the players, the Sligo players, was top class.
They promised themselves down in Sligo that they would not produce a performance like they did against Dublin last year. Everybody feels that Sligo are out of their depth. They certainly have started against Armagh, the Ulster champions in this replay, in scintillating fashion. Diarmuid Marsden pushed on the back, much to the disgust of Brendan Phillips and about 20,000 Sligo supporters here. First free of the game for Armagh. 25 points in 6 games for Oisín McConville. This one is swinging left. Is there a touch? Sent over the bar. And Armagh registered their first score. Let's look at this free kick again. Oisín for once not really getting behind it. It was curling away. Looks like Barry O'Hagan was the player who got the touch.
Yes, I think it was Barry O'Hagan. Very hard to see in that melee of players.
Eamon O'Hara is available. Running at this Armagh defence. Good covering though. Falls to Sligo once more. Kieran McGeeney's in there. So too, Andrew McCann. Switching play over to this side. Diarmuid Marsden is coming way over. His effort blocked by Phillips. Marsden has it again. John McEntee being challenged by Darragh McGarty. John Toll, good crossfield ball. Stephen McDonald running through the centre is Diarmuid Marsden, but McDonald puts it over himself. Two goals and 9 points in 6 games. Or rather in 5 games. He really is so accurate and so confident. Nice interplay between himself and Marsden. One point between the teams. John McEntee. Available is Ronan Clark. Sligo exposed here. Another chance for McDonald. And once again the white flag will be raised. And so far, this is a wonderful game of football. They're level in Navan for the first time.
Yeah, and great combination twice. They're setting up Stephen McDonald. 2 very good scores by him, and again, a very elusive player. Great the last day, promising today.
Fine kick out by James Curran. The covering player is centre fielder John Toll. To his colleague at midfield, Paul McGrain. Stephen McDonald has to go back to his right half back, Aidan O'Rourke. McDonald once more, trying to float one in to seek out Barry O'Hagan, and the ball will go out over the end line. Well, we've had almost 10 minutes of action. You can see in the top left-hand corner our clock, 9.5 minutes, but it's been a breathtaking start.
A very enterprising start by both sides indeed, Marty, and it must pay attention, or special credit to the pitch. It's spacious, it's firm, it's lively, and suiting both sets of players.
Paul Durkin Breaking ball picked up by Pádraig Doohan. But it's Paul Durcan that's going to take the free. It's a poor ball. Leighton pushing the back by Jerry McGowan on Justin McNulty. Free to Armagh. Kieran McGeeney. And he's gone for the return, but Paul McGrain opts for Stephen McDonnell instead. Tries to get inside Neil Carew. Hefty challenge by Paul Durcan. Paul McGrain floating this one across. Sligo still under pressure. And James Kern can only wave as Barry O'Hagan gets his second point. O'Hagan followed this right to the end line, and from quite a difficult angle actually, he managed to squeeze it over the bar.
Yes, already the tussle between Neil Carew and Stephen McDonnell is assuming a lot of significance. It was McDonnell in that case who set up the score initially.
Wisely, James Kern changes the direction of his kickouts. Paul Durcan. That's a great ball. Over towards John McPartland. Armagh are exposed here. Jerry McGowan is at the end of it. Can he get past Tierney? Brilliant block down on the line. Kieran McGeeney was the player that was back there. And it's gone out for a 45. But Sligo had Armagh really exposed here. Jerry McGowan was the player at the end of the move. McGeeney somehow managed to get back and out for a 45.
Great covering that time by McGeeney, because there was a certain goal on. Maybe Jerry McGowan should have had a go at the first time and tried to slide it underneath Benny Tierney.
Desi Sloyne with his first free. And went off an Armagh defender. That should have been covered. And it's another 45. This was wonderful movement here. And great covering by the centre half back. Great opportunity for Sligo. Paul Durcan is available to his left, unmarked. Sloyne intent on having a go. And it's gone over the bar. Right option by Desi Sloyne. How about this for a record? 2 goals and 16 points so far in 6 games, this being the 6th.
Fantastic score, and again Armagh will be a little bit disappointed like that. The last ball they had under control, and an unforced error slipping the ball out over the line resulted in the 45 from which the score came.
Aidan O'Rourke putting it into the space. Whoever said that Navan was a small pitch, certainly they can open up the space here magnificently. That was a good crossfield ball. Dermot Marsden. He's been at right corner forward, right half forward. He's been all over the place. But it's a poor pass inside by Marsden. Sligo are back there in sufficient numbers and they come forward. Good play. Sean Davey, one player up front. He puts it into the space, but it just carries a little bit too much power. And Desi Sloyne unable to reach it.
And again, it's fascinating to watch the positioning that time of McGeeney at centre half. Just plays off his man, covers the spot in front of the full back line.
Benny Tierney playing in his 120th championship match. Fine fielding. Eamon O'Hara seems to have the ball. And referee Seamus McCormick, I'm almost positive, is going to give a throw ball here. Paul McGrain. Great block down by Darragh McGarty. Sligo chasing and harassing everything. Wonderful football. Down by Sean Davey. There's a man in space gone inside. The number 9 is, of course, Eamon O'Hara. It's a poor ball inside, however. It should be an Armagh defenders, but it isn't. It's Desi Sloyne. Outside him is Kieran Quinn. The ball is loose. The ball is touched along the ground, and the referee has given a free to Armagh. I think a lucky free.
Very lucky, because certainly the ball was touching the ground first before the boot went in. Should have been a free in, I think.
Oisín McConville. Over with him is Noel Maguire. Thou shalt not pass seems to be the rule from the right half back. Nigel Clancy deemed to have been fouling Barry O'Hagan. The run on the outside is from Paul McGrain. Plenty of Sligo defenders, and another wonderful example of a block down. And it is Darragh McGarty, the left half back. The referee giving the free to Darragh. This is a wonderful example. There was no options available here to McGrain. He had to go back, and McGarty put his body in front of it.
And that's the criticism, Marty, we repeatedly make of the Armagh forward line, that the half forwards do not come up in support of the inside line when the ball is in there.
James Curran is taking these frees and these kick-outs with great power. There seems to be a charge down, according to the referee, by Eamon O'Hara. And it's going to be a free to Armagh. Paul McGrain, 92 minor captain that lost the All-Ireland final to County Meath in dramatic fashion. Hoping for a little bit better fortune here in the centre of the Royal County. Crossfield ball, eventually gathered by John McPartland. Noel Maguire. The challenge on McPartland was a little bit late. Kieran Quinn flicking it outside. Sean Davey bringing Justin McNulty, the full back, all over the place. He's getting the grand tour of Park Charlton. John McPartland. The back outside is Pádraig Doohan. Good control play by Sligo. Can he score? He did it before. Underneath this is Sloyne, and Tierney has to come off his line. Did he take the ball off the ground outside the small rectangle? I wonder. But however, at the moment, the referee hasn't penalised the goalkeeper. John Toll giving it to Kieran McGeeney. Taking too many steps, and the referee this time gives the free to Sligo.
Well, I think he's compensating maybe for a lack of decision early on, because definitely Benny Tierney was outside the small rectangle, touched the ball on the ground. As we see it coming here, yes, dives onto the ball, and that should have been a free in.
Should have been a free in, absolutely. Desi Sloyne. Hits it, it's curling, hits off the post. Underneath it is Kieran Quinn. With him is Andrew McCann. The referee saw the jersey pulled by McCann, and it's another free for Sligo. And once again, the free taker will be Desi Sloyne. Francie Bellew joining Benny Tierney on the goal line. Here's Desi Sloyne. The white flag will once again blow in the breeze. Second point of the day for Desi Sloyne. Sligo lead by 1 point. A little concerned, I'm sure, Joe Kernan. He got a great start in Croke Park 2 weeks ago, but at the moment Sligo are well able for his team.
Yeah, so far a very absorbing tussle, Marty, but no clear-cut advantage being enjoyed by either side.
Oh, fabulous catch. We've seen great block down, some fine fielding. That time we have to credit Kieran Quinn. This one dropping into the arms of Brendan Tierney. Enda McNulty makes himself available. Kieran McGeeney. Aidan O'Rourke back to his centre-back. Good ball over to the far wing, changes the direction of the play. Ronan Clark. Stephen McDonald, it's not a good pass. Patrick Naughton is back there. that loses possession. Going to be a sideline ball, Armagh.
Yes, and Patrick Naughton has now picked up, I think, Stephen McDonnell.
Sideline quickly taken. James Curran comes back off the crossbar and into the waiting arms of Eamon O'Hara. But the referee has indicated that it's actually gone over the bar. And the point has been given. Paul McGrain was the player who took the kick. Let's just see this again. Oh, the keeper was behind the crossbar. His hands.
Very clever from James Curran, but well spotted by the umpire. Definitely the ball had gone over the bar.
So Seamus McCormick and his officials down there at that end. James Matthews and Phil Savage are the umpires down at that end of the field. Patrick Doohan, Eamon O'Hara, Benny Tierney, Desi Sloan is in there too. Break comes out for us, Jerry McGowan. There's a sliding tackle. Referee maintains that the ball was picked off the ground by Sean Davey. And for descent, Armagh get an extra 10 metres. Or 13 metres as it is, 10 yards. Quickly taken. John Toll. Diarmuid Marsden. Strong in possession. Fast with the ball. Flicking it back to Stephen McDonnell. Nice move. Good score. From a position where they had a chance of a score at the other end, questionable decision. The advantage swung to Armagh and they maximised it here. Lovely interplay between Marsden and McDonnell. Good finish.
Good finish indeed. And any time McDonnell gets the ball, he spells danger for Sligo. Very accurate, in particular off his left foot.
Some pushing by Aidan O'Rourke on Dara McGarty. So the free to Sligo. Good running off the ball in all sorts of directions. Aimed at Desi Sloan. Won by Desi Sloan. This one is angled a little bit too much to the right. Second wide of the day for Sligo. Trawling contest here in Park Charlton. It's the venue for the very first All-Ireland quarter-final in Navan. First time ever. John McEntee. The support plays from Aidan O'Rourke. In for Stephen McDonnell, posing the greatest threat to Sligo at the moment. Back to O'Rourke, who's stayed in a right half forward position. John McEntee. No great bother to Sligo. Nigel Clancy. Noel Maguire. Changing the direction of the play again, and Desi Sloan is over there. Keeping control. Jerry McGowan makes the run. Kieran Quinn is in support. There's a player over the far side. Now he spots him. Comes to Sean Davey. It was just a little bit slow in terms of thinking. Didn't have the vision for the long ball.
Very true, Marty. John McPartlin was screaming for a pass there for about 3 or 4 seconds. Jerry McGowan should have given it earlier.
Fair shoulder by Dara McGarty and Andrew McCann. The pickup by Aidan O'Rourke is punished, and Sligo have the advantage, but there's nobody inside the 20-metre line from a Sligo perspective. So no chance of a quick break.
That's true, and I think they'll want to slow it down a little bit, Marty, because both sides are going at it hell for ladder, but definitely it was a pick off the ground that time by Aidan O'Rourke, I think.
Desi Sloan going for his third point. And it's right on target. Very consistent. And he's taken the freeze from his hands.
And taking them accurately, Marty, for a change. Fair play to him. He's mastered the art. More than can be said for a number of other players.
Oh, great catch by John McEntee. Into the space, Stephen McDonald takes off. Having to leave his marker is Neil Carew, and Carew gets there and puts it out for his sideline. Good defending by Carew. He literally had to accelerate in an instant.
He hasn't had to leave his man actually and anticipate that. Great bit of defending.
Oisin McConville. Anybody at the end of it. John McEntee keeping it in for Ronan Clark. A little hand trip, and it's going to be a 13-metre free. Seamus McCormick wants to have a word with one of the Sligo players. At least he's just noting his name, I think, rather than having a chat, and I think it was Patrick Naughton.
Yes, indeed, it was Patrick Naughton. Bit of lazy defending that time, I think, by Nigel Clancy. He should have attacked that ball that came over.
Oisin McConville. It's a very easy free for a player of this class. So Armagh making a change. Looks like John Donaldson is coming on. And John Donaldson would be making his first appearance in the championship. Won an All-Ireland club medal with Crossmaglen Rangers, and obviously they feel, Armagh feel, that they have a problem in their half-back line. Pádraig Doohan. Foul by Barry O'Hagan. And Seamus McCormick is emphasising his authority and implementing the rules. Barry O'Hagan disagreeing with him, which is not advisable. So Barry O'Hagan going to be shown a yellow card. First yellow card of the evening here in Navan. And Desi Sloan to level this match again. 4 points for Desi. Level for the 5th time. And that statistic will tell you how tight this match is, how evenly balanced the tie. Joe Kernan, focused, determined to guide his county to an All-Ireland semi-final against Dublin. But can he do it? Fine catch by Paul McGrain. John McEntee. Back to McEntee again from the breaking ball. Paul Durkin chasing. Midfielders defending. The support comes from Paul McGrain. Oisin McConville. Oh, that's a great point. His influence is huge, not just as a free taker. Scored a similar point in Croke Park in the drawn match. Repeats the business here.
Yeah, but you must give great credit that time to John McEntee. Spade work out on the side, held the ball up very well and found McConville with a very incisive pass.
Quick kick out, this time fires Patrick Naughton. Oisin McConville. John Donaldson getting his first touch in a championship match this season. Stephen McDonald. Good kick. Great point. The two number 13s in this match have scored 4 points each. Desi Sloyne at one end, Stephen McDonnell at the other, but McDonnell has scored all of his from play.
Yes, and at the moment, some of the Sligo defenders are not getting tight enough on their opponents. They're playing a zonal defence and giving too much time to their opponents, and in that case, McDonnell got a very, very good point from distance.
Darragh McGarty couldn't hold it. John Toll towards John McEntee, picked up by Patrick Naughton. Uses his right half back Noel Maguire. Kieran Quinn comes from a right half forward position to a defensive role, and they play it out superbly. Great lockdown by Kieran McGeeney. Breaking ball picked up by Eamon O'Hara, and there's a tussle off the ball between John McEntee and Eamon O'Hara. We continue on with the play. Nigel Clancy out fires Kieran Quinn. Can he score? It's gone to the right and wide. Third wide of the day for Sligo. Kieran McGeeney is such an influential player as Noel Maguire went forward. Look at McGeeney here, diving onto the boot of the right half back.
Yes, that's a coach's dream to see a centre half blocking a ball like that. Tremendous bit of work by McGeeney.
Kieran McGeeney fouled by John McPartland. Diarmuid Marsden makes the run over this side. Still Marsden. Neil Carew incensed by the decision to give a free against him. And it looks like Brendan Phillips is going to be at least noted here, if not shown a yellow card. He's not, it's just his name is being noted. It is a free for Armagh. A chance to stretch the Northerners' lead to 3 points. And the umpires now have called for the referee, James Matthews and Phil. In fact, that's Stephen O'Hare and Derek Smith. Stephen O'Hare from Walterstown, the gentleman there with the glasses, one of the umpires, with Derek Smith. Obviously an off-the-ball incident spotted by both Stephen and Derek. They want to inform the match official, and he now will seek out the guilty party. Looks like he's calling out John McEntee and Eamon O'Hara.
Yes, what happened, Marty, in the middle of the park a couple of minutes ago, both of them had a little bit of a thump up with one another as the ball went in towards the Armagh goals. It's nothing really serious, but at the same time, he's laying down his authority.
Nice shake hands, and good work by the official and his team of umpires, ensuring that nothing happens off the ball. A yellow card for Eamon O'Hara and a yellow card for John McEntee. So we now have 3 yellow cards in this match, 2 for Armagh, 1 for Sligo. Oisín McConville puts it over the bar. Three points between the teams as we approach that half-time whistle. 2 minutes extra time to be played here in Navan in this opening half. Breaking ball so vital. Darragh McCarthy got the touch, and he gets the return pass from Noel Maguire. Who's running out to meet him? Desi Sloyne makes a run. Great run by McCarthy. Can he finish? Unfortunately, it was a straight line, but to the right of the goalposts.
Yeah, but again, he won't be happy with the forward movement up in front of him. I think the inside line in particular of Jerry McGowan and Desi Sloyne could be working a little bit harder. Great run forward again. Ball goes off the outside of his right foot and wide.
I'm sure Peter Ford will be happy to get his team in at half-time, but considering that they may go in just trailing by 3 points, I think he'd be reasonably happy.
Yes, been an even enough game up to the last 5 minutes, but Armagh started to find gaps in the Sligo defence.
Referee gives the free to Aidan O'Rourke. Sligo supporters not happy with the decision. Kieran McGeeney. Good play by Maguire. Saw that Paul Durkin was waiting for the breaking ball. Sean Davey. Here is Noel Maguire, former captain of UCD. I thought that pass was going astray, but it worked out fine. Kieran Gwynn, Darren McGarty, Eamon O'Hara. Can he score from there? Off the post and over the bar. The captain from Turlestrane, consistently scoring in nearly every match. Didn't score in the drawn match, but he's certainly made a difference here.
And again, you must credit Darren McGarty with the spade work, having a fabulous game out at left half forward, acting as a third midfielder.
And up north, Martin, they're amused in some way about Darren McGarty because he couldn't get his place in the Sigerson team in Jordanstown.
That is correct. That is correct. But by God, he's blossomed under Peter Ford's direction.
Justin McNulty. And there's the half-time whistle here in Park Charlton. It's been an absorbing contest, at times most enjoyable in terms of the quality of football. Armagh go in leading at half-time on a scoreline of 10 points to 8. Eamon O'Hara just getting that point just before the half-time whistle, and Sligo will be happy enough, I think, to trail at half-time here in Park Charlton. The official score at half-time: Armagh 10 points, Sligo 8. Let's go down to the sideline for some half-time reaction now.
Marty, I'm joined here by David Durkin. David, your thoughts on that first half?
Well, I thought we settled in fairly quick, got a couple of scores at the beginning and went well for us, but just coming near the end of that half, they seemed to just up it a little bit, and they tagged on a couple of good points there, and they probably deserve to be their 2 points ahead, you know.
They seem to be dominating more so at midfield.
They're dominating at midfield, especially on their own kickouts. They've won nearly practically all of their own kickouts, and a lot of it has been clean ball. So we need to address that at half time. That
was an important score that Eamon O'Hara just got just towards the end there.
Very important, very important. But Eamon seems to do those things when we need it, and we need an awful lot more of that in the second half.
You did get off to such a great start. 3 points in the first 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, the boys started very well, and it's a thing we've been working on because I've been criticised in the past about that, you know.
But you're still there.
We're still there, that's for sure.
Eamon, thank you very much indeed. Back to you, Marty.
Thank you very much, Robbie. And at half-time, Armagh lead by 2 points, 10 points to 8. I wonder what Colm O'Rourke thinks of the first half and what will happen in the second. Do stay with us. Join us after this commercial break. Right. John McEntee quickly setting up Kieran McGeeney with possession. Dermot Marsden, nice flick on first. Ronan Clark. Is this a very fast score? It is. 16 seconds played of the second half, and Ronan Clark gets his first point in this All-Ireland quarter-final replay. Nice turn inside, and certainly Neil Carew conceding quite an amount of ground there to Clark.
Yeah, far too much, but it's a very good score from Ronan Clark. I think it's the first score in this game, and again he's into his traditional full forward position this time, which I believe suits him best.
And remember, Ronan Clark is only 19 years of age, still a student in Queen's University in Belfast. Oh, lovely flick on. It's Oisin McConville. It's 2 against 1. Who's going to finish? It's Clark, and it's a goal. The opening minute of the second half has turned into the Ronan Clark show. Set up by Oisin McConville. Neil Carew could do very little. Neither could James Kern, and Clark tucked it away neatly into the Sligo net. The Ulster champions have started this second period brilliantly. Now, this is going to test the character of Sligo. Aidan O'Rourke. John Donaldson. Under pressure from Kieran Quinn. Misjudged by Brendan Phillips. It's advantage Armagh again, and a brilliant save by Kern, and puts it out for a 45. But Kern was not going to be beaten at his near post, so good goalkeeping.
Excellent position by Kern that time, but it must be said in the first minute or two, the Sligo backline in general is very, very nervy. That time Oisin McConville takes it, or I think it's Jeremy Martin, takes it on and said left-footed, great save by Maguire. But just going back to the two goals that went in, Marty, in both cases there's a little flick on by an Armagh forward, something we haven't seen before actually in the game, and they put another forward into space.
Score 3 points in the first half. Oisin McConville hits this 45 accurately. Armagh now leading by 7 points.
Yes, and all that, Marty, in the space of 2.5 minutes. It's certainly crisis time now for Sligo.
Michael Langan is being introduced. He played centre back against Galway. This is Neil Carruthers making way for Michael Langan from Castleconnor. An experienced defender. Nigel Clancy has gone back full back now to Mark Roland Clark, and Michael Langan, who normally plays centre back, will slot in there. Seem to be charging. This is turning horribly wrong from a Sligo perspective. Ronan Clark, Sligo exposed once more. Referee blows his whistle. Changed hands with possession. It's free out to Sligo. Quickly taken. Just let's recall the drawn match. Sligo trailed by 6 points with just 16 minutes left. This looks like a bigger hill to climb. John McPartland, Dara McGarty, and that seemed to go off a defender, Francie Bellew, but not too much in terms of protest from Sligo, but it's a bad wide.
It should have been a 45, Marty, but it's definitely a score that Sligo needed to get themselves back into the game.
He had the time, he wasn't under pressure, and sliced it completely. The referee and his officials again were correct here. Actually, when you look at the replay. Breaking ball picked up by Eamon O'Hara. Great bit of space created by John McPartland. Poor defending by Armagh, but McPartland has sent it wide. That's 2 scores now in the space of a minute that Sligo have missed.
Yes, and as we said yesterday, Marty, the cumulative effect of missing scores like that is to actually demoralise a team. It's gone out to 7 points. It could have been back to 5 points within a minute. Bad misses.
An interested spectator there. On your right is Tommy Lyons, beside him Paul Caffrey, Dublin management team. At the moment, they must consider it's going to be Armagh will be their opponents on the 1st of September. Can Sligo respond? John McPartland, Jerry McGowan, trying to get away from Enda McNulty. McGowan sends it to the wrong side of post. 3 wides. 7 wides in total for Sligo, and 3 in the last minute and a half or so.
3 attacks, 3 wides. Bad return from a lot of good approach play. Actually, at the moment, Eamon O'Hara has really started off the half very well and has given in a lot of quality ball there, but certainly they should have made more of those attempts.
Peter Ford in his 2nd year in charge of Sligo, along with TJ Kilgallen, Matty Hoey and Shane Tully. And it looks like Justin McNulty is in trouble, the fullback from Mullabourne, and he will require some medical attention off the playing area.
Yes, and what I noticed there, Marty, in the break of play, all the Armagh forwards came together, had a huddle. All the Armagh backs came together and had a huddle, as if it was a pre-arranged thing if there was a break in play.
Justin McNulty is back in his full-back position, as David Coldrick, the linesman at the far side from Meath, indicates it's a Sligo ball. John McPartland. Foul by Kieran McGeeney. Pumping it in, there's Desi Sloyne. Francie Bellew on him immediately. Sloyne is fouled, free to Sligo. And the referee is going to have a word, it would appear, with John Donaldson, who fouled the corner forward.
Yeah, there was absolutely no need for that free that time, because Bellew was around him, Donaldson was around him. There was no need for him to go in and concede that.
And Seamus McCormick is, in fact, showing a yellow card to the left half back. So Armagh now have amassed 3 yellow cards in this game. The other 2 being John McEntee and Barry O'Hagan. And finally, Sligo, after 4 attempts, raise a white flag in the second half. It's Jerry McGowan's second point of the evening. The biggest test of the championship so far for the All Blacks from Sligo. The Ulster champions, starting off this second half superbly. Touched along the ground by Ronan Clark. Free to Sligo. And this is where Jarlath Cunningham, one of the backroom team, he had such success with Crossmalina when they won the All-Ireland club, where he prepares the teams mentally, gives them various situations to test their character. Francie Bellew's character has been tested in the past and he's come out with honours.
Yes, indeed, and that was a staunch bit of defending, a great bit of fielding over Desi Sloyne's head.
Dermot Marsden waits for John McEntee to support. John Donaldson is coming through as well. This is Donaldson. Steve McDonald wanted it. Uses Barry O'Hagan instead. Oisin McConville can usually score from there, but not on this occasion. Nigel Clancy, wearing 6, but now operating at full-back. Darragh McGarty is over this side in front of us. Sligo are responding. They need to run at this Armagh defence to test them. Unable to get past Donaldson, but Donaldson forced to foul. Who's making the run? Short ball or long ball?
It could only be a short one, Marty, because there's nobody in long.
This could still work out. Brilliant catch by Eamon O'Hara. He's in a good position. The referee blows his whistle, and this is a free dead straight in front of the post.
Yes, all the forwards came out that time, and fair play to O'Hara. Saw the gap and got in there and fielded a great ball.
Desi Sloyne more than likely will take this free. And Francie Bellew, I think, is going off for a blood substitution. He obviously picked up an injury in that last sequence of play. So there'll be a blood sub, and the blood sub on this occasion is Paul McCormack, who replaced him in the drawn match in Croke Park when Francie got an ankle injury. This is only a temporary arrangement until Francie is able to take his position again at cornerback. So back in the action, Desi Sloyne takes his point. 5 points for Desi Sloyne on this evening here in Navan.